this. Look at this big bright light. Will it adjust? Will this adjust? I don't know. I just work here. So for anyone just now watching, thank you for watching Sketching Past Midnight Live. I am your host. Whatever this guy's name is, it happens to be this. CB Small with the greatest of all time, the undisputed, unchallenged. Because everyone knows it's true. Well, I'm glad that you're all here with me this, what is it? Is it Thursday? Is today Thursday? I don't know what today is. Today is the same as yesterday and the day before that. It's all the same freaking day. I'm in a glorious mood, by the way. I just feel very, very blah. Very blah. I'm drinking me a big glass of milk. I'm just on a big milk kick. Let's take a big gander at what I've been working on. So it's done. It's finite. It's finished. Completed. And this may be a short live stream, by the way. Apologize about the video quality. Everything seems a little off. Is that how it's going to be? Let me hit some buttons here. See if I can figure out what the deal is. Camera Pro. There we go. That's all it takes. Me just hitting some random buttons that don't do anything. I tell you one thing before I get started. I noticed every time I use this kind of setup to do my live streams and stuff, that everything just sort of like kicks out after like 2 hours. After 2 hours, Prism Studio just kicks me out. Says my internet is terrible. Well, Prism Studio, I don't need you to tell me that. I know it's terrible. So anyway, let's go ahead and give a few shout outs to everybody before we get started. Sketching Past Midnight. It's not even midnight where I'm at right now. It's like actually it's 11:31 a.m. There's daylight outside. My days and nights are all mixed up. I'm used to being up late at night. And now that I'm getting up at 6 in the morning, it's really throwing me off. I can't stand it. It's very annoying. So anyway, this is a Firepower, a character created by Abel Parsons, and you can find him all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. Here, let me turn the oven off right quick. Yeah. I had to turn the oven off right quick. I'm reheating yesterday's pizza meal of choice. I don't. Got the oven door open. Now the heat's going to come in and I'm going to burn up since I'm so sensitive to heat. You see the type of mood I'm in right now? But anyway, this is the Awesome Firepower by Abel Parsons. You can find him everywhere. And really happy with how this one turned out for today's shout outs. Also, please remember to check out Peter DeLuca's Trial by Fire. You can also look him up as AKA Pad, which I've been pronouncing as AKPAD for whatever reason. And Peter DeLuca also has a YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, probably a Minds for all I know, a Facebook and everything. So you can find him there. But the main important thing that you need to know, he's getting ready to, if he hasn't already, Trial by Fire is going to be on Indiegogo. You can go to Indiegogo right now and sign up to be notified when it goes live if you're so inclined. Okay, so there's that. We also have the most excellent one, Robert Johnston, and his creation, The Reverend. And this is his character, The Reverend. Really cool character. Lots of interesting stuff going on. Of course, all the characters I just showed you are really cool as well. You can look up Robert Johnston and The Reverend at zerocomics.com. That's with an IX, not an ICS. zerocomics.com, Robert Johnston, and he'll have a free preview of this, like 3 to 4 pages, if I remember correctly. Also, reminding everyone of the mighty Will Avenger. Now, I didn't draw this. I didn't draw this one. This is actually gifted to me by Will Avenger, and this is fan art of Wildcat, and very awesome, very cool. And if this tickles your fancy, if you like this artwork, if you think it's awesome, then I recommend that you look him up on Facebook, The Art of Will Avenger, and also check him out on Instagram. He's on Instagram as well. Moving on, we have the fabulous one, Mike Emirates, with the Sisyphean complex. I still didn't spell it right. I think it has to have a Y. So let me fix that. Let's see if I can put a Y in there. It's like the world's tiniest Y. I'll get the name right. But this is Mike Emirates' Sisyphean complex. And I was being educated the other day. It's based off a character named Sisyphus. Sisyphus. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, yeah. So I really like how this turned out. Thought this was pretty cool. And if this interests you, and he's still working on this, Mike Emirates, you can follow him on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on Twitter, and probably a few other places. Moving on quickly now with all these shout outs. This is just pretty cool recap. Jeff Lafferty's a Berserkernaut. Yeah, you can look him up on jefflafferty.com, Artcast, and a couple other things. Really cool. So jefflafferty.com. Here's Marshall Lee's Expando, or you can look him up at Marsh Makes Comics. And, Expando, justice is never beyond his reach. Loved how this turned out, even though the buildings are wonky. It is what it is. And so you can look Marsh up on YouTube. And you can also look him up on Twitter at Marsh Makes Comics or Marshall Lee. All right. So before we get started, yet again, I gotta drink some milk here out of my Captain D's cup because I believe in recycling. Had a viewer, lost a viewer, and now I'm all alone. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let me move this out of the way so we can actually see what the heck I'm talking about. So I got this 4-page story thing of Wildcat. It's kind of like gives you a good idea of what Wildcat is about, what his deal is, what his old shtick is. And here's Wildcat being chased by chainsaw ninjas, and all that good jazz. Let me get down to here, he's grumbling or whatever. Somebody's coming up on him, and chawam wham bam bam. There you go. Away with you, And we also have, the second page of this little mini story, I guess, which will probably be included in a larger story. Wildcat, looking in all directions. He's been surrounded by chainsaw ninjas, and here's another one. And, things are getting pretty serious here. Then finally we get down to this. And, but you've all seen these pages. So, then it brings us to this double-page spread. And I like the way it turned out overall. There's some things I do different, and honestly, I could still probably be inking on it. Oh boy. So there we are. Let me fold this bad boy up. And let's get to the new thing. That's the old thing. It's old now. So this is the new thing. Let's see. Just trying to help you get a gander of what you're looking at. Okay, so this is like one of the first pages of the Wildcat story. This is him being murdered. Wildcat being murdered. Let me get my brush out because I can't seem to do anything without my brush. So, I hope everyone's doing good today. I hope you're having an awesome day. Now, on this piece, there's still some things I got to work on, so I'm going to have to just ink. I'm just going to have to ink, this middle panel because this middle panel is finished for the most part, I think. It's the only thing I feel comfortable with inking, because these other panels on here, I'm not too sure about. So I want to go ahead and just ink this one, and then I'll finish the pencils on the other ones. It's probably not the most ideal way to do things. Let's zoom in here a little bit. There we go. Alright, I know I'm getting quiet for anyone that's going to be watching the replay, but I'm just really focused right now, and I didn't really come prepared with a topic, because again, I'm kind of all thrown off. I'm used to doing this stuff at 3 a.m. and here I am at 11 a.m. in the day working on it, and so, bright? Not bright. Hey, whatever you want to do, camera. Want to go psychotically bright here. Weird technical stuff. It's just very annoying. Okay. Getting that in. I'll just go ahead and shade that. I'll come back. I can come back in with one of those freaking Fraggle Rock looking things, and then do some cool stuff. In theory, anyway. So, I tell you one interesting thing. I'll have to be kind of veiled. I have to be kind of secretive, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, and I don't know all the facts of the situation. It's probably always best not to say anything if you don't have all the facts. But since I'm not mentioning anybody by name or anything like that, I think it's safe to kind of go down this weird rabbit hole of train of thought. I was looking on one of my social medias there, and one of my art buddies, somebody that I don't have like what I would call a relationship with, just somebody that's, like a, somebody that you just that follow or befriended, friended or whatever. You see what I'm saying? and you might hit like on their post or something like that, maybe throw a comment, but that's about the extent of it. You just don't have like a developing friendship or nothing like that. It's one of these type of things. And this guy, I'm going to call him Bob, because Bob is the best name ever created in the English language. Nothing beats a Bob. So Bob is a fantastic artist. He is great. I mean, he's just really, really, really good at what he does. Very envious of his command of the pencil and of inks and just overall comic book making techniques. Dave writes, hey. Probably not that long of a hey as I did it, but I'm glad you're here. It's no fun talking to yourself. So anyway, to recap of what I was talking about, I was getting into, I guess, gossip. Because not only is C.B. Smallwood the greatest of all time, he's also the gossip queen. Okay, so I got all the gossip. And like I was saying before, I don't have all the facts of this, but because I'm not naming names and I'm not throwing people under the bus and all this other stuff, what's the harm? Nobody can figure out who it is, and it's not really important as about who I'm talking about as it is more about the topic itself. I just think it's interesting. So I've got like a social media buddy who I'll call Bob, and it's one of these social media buddy situations where, like, you follow the person's post and all this other stuff. You might hit like, you may occasionally comment, but you haven't really developed a friendship with, So that's basically like 99.9% of the people that on your various social medias, depending on what your favorite one is. That's kind of like, everybody's situation, right? Well, anyway, Bob is a fantastic artist. He is really, really good. He's good with the pencil. He's good with the inks. He uses like these manga techniques, with screen toning and all this other stuff. I mean, this guy's an awesome artist. He's fantastic. And he's really, really pursuing very hardcore a career in comics. And, the irony of it is this guy doesn't, he don't necessarily live that far away from me. We could actually meet up if we wanted to. And I don't know. I've never approached him about the idea of getting a beer or anything like that. Don't know why. I'm socially awkward as it is. But what was the point of what I was getting ready to? Oh yeah. So we live fairly close or whatever, and so it's, you would think on the surface, that we would talk more or whatever, or we have conversations, but we don't. But that's irrelevant to this whole gossip queen situation here. So this guy, he's pursuing a thing in comics. He's super talented. He's going to have a career in comics. I mean, that's how good he is. He's going to have a career in mainstream American comics. And for some reason, when I say American comics, I picture like red, white, and blue and eagles flying overhead or something stupid. That's ridiculous. So this guy's really good, and he has he got an opportunity, possibly working for Lion Forge, like about a year ago, and I guess that must have fell through. I mean, he signed a contract and everything, and then that just kind of imploded. And apparently, he's been working on a secret project. Not like my secret projects. My secret projects ain't like, something for Marvel or DC or whoever. I guess he had more of a legit secret project. And And his secret project, he was going to be working with a publisher and basically, I guess, given free reign to do whatever. And with some type of intellectual property that probably wasn't his own. For example, hypothetically, let's say like Bob was going to be working on Voltron for some publisher, right? But he was going to give free reign to do with it, with whatever, with Voltron. I'm not saying that that's the case or that's even the characters, but I'm just trying to, give you the idea, the rough concept here. So anyway, Bob has this secret project, and it's going good. It's got a lot of momentum going and stuff. And then one day, as in yesterday, I see a post, and he is lamenting the loss of his second attempt at breaking into comics. I'm like, what is this? And I read it, and it's like 3 or 4 paragraphs long. Not that that's a bad thing. I love it when people write big stuff. I like to read. But no, he was lamenting. He was sad over the loss of his new gig. And apparently he was blaming it on Comicsgate. And his thing was, apparently with whatever this secret publisher he had to deal with, which I think I know which one it was, that there was a big to-do with Comicsgate, and Bob ended the deal with this publisher. And he was sad about it. And see, the publisher didn't end the deal with Bob. Bob still had, could have still published this book. But he chose to sever that tie with that publisher. And I guess the reason was that publisher was friendly or doing business possibly with Comicsgate crowd. And so I just thought that was really interesting. I sent him I wrote on his I sent him a comment. There we go. It wasn't a private message, it was a comment. Everybody was commenting, "Oh, that's terrible, it's awful," and I wrote him, that I think that he should continue forth with it, and don't let anybody, any persons, anything, stand between him and whatever he's wanting to do. Just go ahead and do it. And he didn't write me back, which I didn't expect a response or nothing like that, but his girlfriend wrote me back. And she was really nice. She said, what was it? What was it she told me? She said that she basically reiterated, this guy's post, saying that, and maybe clarified it a little bit better, saying that he wants to have a career in comics, and they feel that if he did work under this publisher, then I guess they were afraid that they would be blackballed. And I just think that's really interesting, on a couple of things. And so I guess that's the topic of today's video. Until my internet connection just times out and it kicks me out, or if my son wakes up from his nap. So here's what I think. I didn't reply back to that guy's girlfriend. She was really nice. She's really cool. But I didn't reply back to her or him. And because I have like a different opinion, and I got too much empathy, or sometimes maybe I don't have enough. I don't know, but I had my empathy, my feels were turned on high, because the guy just lost his gig, even though he gave it up himself. And I was like, what? Now's not the time to have a different contrary opinion to what he's experiencing, because he's hurting right now. This is his second time trying to break into comics, and it was right there, and then it's taken away from him, even though he took it away himself. So Dave writes, I see. So he's annoyed that he sacrificed his own project. Exactly. And I guess that's why I have a different opinion on it. I think I know the publisher. It's either one or two publishers. It's probably Dynamite, but it could also be IDW. I want to say Dynamite. And but anyway, the whole big thing with Dynamite, for anyone that doesn't know, is Dynamite's been publishing these variant covers featuring artwork and characters from Comicsgate. So they'll have like a Vampirella comic, and they'll do a variant cover with like Cyberfrog and Salamandroid on it and stuff like that, and it's a win-win for everybody, I guess, because they're selling more Vampirella comics. And also, the Comicsgate people get more variant covers, and they get things, stuff for that audience, and yeah, I don't know. I always just saw it as a win-win. It was just it worked out good that way. Anyway, what ended up happening with the Dynamite thing is they got a little too confident because they weren't getting any flack for doing that, and they started super chatting Comicsgate channels, and then they took it to another level. They actually started promoting the covers. So they didn't promote the covers before, and so there's a cover with a Comicsgater by the name of Cecil, who had a character that looks like him, sandwiched in between Vampirella and Red Sonja. And that was his freaking variant cover, right? And Dynamite actually promoted it on their what do you call it? On their social media, So check out Cecil's variant cover or whatever. And, anti-Comicsgate, people that identify as social justice warriors, people that are social justice warriors or whatever, they lost their minds. It was too much. That had to be stopped, which I thought, surely they would have went after, Ethan Van Sciver, because he's a bigger target and stuff. But instead they went after, not so much Cecil, but, they started going after Dynamite over the Cecil cover. There we go. It's interesting. And then eventually there's like 6 or 7 projects with various Comicsgate people that had variant covers that were going to be published by Dynamite that were being funded on Indiegogo. I can't explain how all this works. You just have to take my word for it. And there's like 6 or 7 of these projects, and they all were removed by Indiegogo. And I would assume it was by the request possibly of Dynamite. And see, the interesting thing is Dynamite does business with everybody. So what time they're publishing these variant covers of Comicsgate people, they're also donating money to a lot of far left causes and different things. They're donating to the Black Lives Matter organization. Doing all those charities and stuff like that. So that's where they send some of their money. And also Dynamite employs a lot of people that are very liberal in the comic book industry, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know I'm making it sound like there's something wrong with that, but I'm just trying to make a point that they hire everybody. They don't discriminate. And actually, one of the people, it's one of the biggest anti-EVS, anti-Ethan Van Sciver people on the planet. And one of the people that actually created Ethan Van Sciver, Gail Simone, she works for Dynamite, who is also said to be part of the Whisper Network and all this good stuff. Right? So Dynamite, kind of employs everybody, works with everybody, and that's their whole shtick. you know. Oh, that's too thick. It's too thick. I better not. But I better leave that be. I may have to put this brush down and then try a different tactic here. Okay, let me answer some comments before I go any further with my gossip. Dave writes, well, if it's Dynamite and it is Cecil thing, then he sacrificed his potential new career for nothing. Looks like the IGGs are back up, the Indiegogos. Yeah, I think so too. So to bring this back full circle, so I was talking about Bob, you know, it's this artist that I'm being secretive about, you know. Again, Bob is fantastic. I mean, if you saw his artwork, it's like, whew, such raw talent. Anyway, I think, in my opinion, probably the publisher that he's working with to do whatever his secret project was, it was probably with Dynamite. And because of everything that was going on with Dynamite, and Dynamite eventually did cave. They did cave. They did. You know, they canceled a bunch of projects. They started severing ties. You know, they did away with the Cecil cover and all this other stuff. And so they tried to appease, you know, the people that were upset. And so I don't know why Bob couldn't stay on working at Dynamite with his pet project, you know. You know, the thing about cancel culture, I mean, I hate all of cancel culture. I can't stand it. But the biggest thing I dislike about it, if I had to pick one thing, is that they don't believe in forgiveness. In this new weird religion that's growing and becoming popular, you have to be perfect. You have to be an image of perfection. And if you ever fall short of that, then you're either the enemy of the state or you have to be subjugated and treated as a second-class citizen, even after apologizing, you know, for whatever your offense is to this new religion. And in cancel culture, you know, they don't accept apologies. They say they do, but they don't, because they always, you know, they want a pound of flesh. And they won't stop until they get it. And then after they get it, they want more. And they want you to grovel, and then that's how you stay. Because a lot of the people that fuel cancel culture are these psychotic, narcissistic individuals, you know. And so Dynamite caved in to a few people. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people that had legitimate beef with the Cecil thing or whatever, Comicsgate thing, you know, that they're well-intentioned but might not know the full scope, the full story of things, you know. But there's some really nasty people out there. But anyway, so Bob, this fantastic artist, you know, he gave that up. He wasn't asked to. He volunteered that because hypothetically he wants to have a career one day drawing Superman. Well, I do too. You know, I want to draw Superman too. But I've kind of made peace with it. I mean, I feel like the comic book industry that I know and loved has died. Has nothing to do with diversity or any of that stuff, you know. Comics have always been diverse, and they were becoming more diverse as time goes on, you know, so that's not the issue. The issue is changing characters into something that they're not when they have a long pre-established history of being one way, you know. Basically hijacking characters to push an ideology, you know. So it's just weird. It's weird. And my personal feeling is Bob shouldn't have caved into it, you know, because Right now, he thinks he's doing the best thing for his career long term. But I guarantee Gail Simone, who's probably still working at Dynamite now that they've got their way, they're not going to leave. They're going to push for more of their friends to work at that company or get jobs at that company. They're not going anywhere. I could be wrong. I don't know. And so here's Bob giving up his job because he's at the bottom of the totem pole. I don't think anybody asked him to do that. And, gosh, that's just really unfortunate. I think that's the wrong way to look at it, because, if he's going to cut and run on something that's so, I feel like it's more ambiguous than anything. It's just something that's like a big nothing burger like that. What's going to happen if he ends up drawing Superman or Wonder Woman or the X-Men one day or whatever, drawing something like that, and he's friends with what some people would be considered the wrong type of person to be friends with, Is he gonna cut and run on that friend, Is his principles that flexible that he's willing to sacrifice a friend to the altar of cancel culture in order to have a career in comics? And to me, if you have to throw people under the rug to have a career in comics, then what does that say about the comic book industry? Who would want to work in a comic book industry that makes you choose who you can and cannot hang out with? And so that bothers me. And so I guess that's part of the reason I kind of made peace in my mind with the idea of having a career in comics. Who knows? It may happen. I kind of doubt it, though. And so I just kind of just going my own way, I'm just going to do my own thing and see where that takes me. And I'm just going to make comics and all my favorite heroes, comic book heroes, not the people that make comics. I mean, the actual fictional characters, they're no longer recognizable, most of them. And so I guess if I really wanted to draw them, I'd just draw them for free and just put it up on the internet and just give it away. Yeah, just give it away. That looks pretty cool. I like how that's coming together. Oh gosh, what is that crap? Yeah, that whole thing with Bob, I thought that was unfortunate because he's a good guy. I know it sounds like I'm throwing him under the rug, but I'm honestly not. I just think that he's got his priorities a little mixed up, and he made the wrong choice. Because I don't think anybody would have associated him with Comicsgate, just because he he may have a hypothetical deal with Dynamite, I mean, is Gail Simone Comicsgate because she was writing, what was it, Daredevil, and I can't remember. She might have been writing Red Sonja, but I could be wrong on that. Might have been somebody else. I don't believe in guilty by association. I believe that you should be judged on your own merits, on what you do as a person. Being very candid here. That was the one thing that always killed me in all my older videos and doing my mental junk food videos, which I will get back to, is I would have stuff to say, and I would be afraid to say the most basic things, and I feel like it hurt me more in the long run because I became a straddle pole. I just don't want to offend nobody, because I really honestly don't. Because, I love human beings, and I want people to feel welcome and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, even having like a basic opinion that's said in the most respectful, polite way possible is now become, it's getting where it's taboo, and I'm just sick of it, Sick of it. I have opinions. I have opinions. I want to say my opinions. I feel like the way I state my opinions is a lot more polite than how I've seen people on Facebook, like F this and F that. Hey, son.
Dad.
Yes. Yeah, Mommy left that. She just dumped it all on the floor. I'll have to pick it up. That's right. Throwing Mother under the bus. Why not? It's only fair since I throw hypothetical Bob under the bus. What is this? You want me to get you fixed on the couch?
I want some milk.
Some milk? Okay.
I want some chocolate.
Dave writes, Bob threw himself under the bus. No one asked him to. And it's real easy to dash off a tweet saying how you will not be doing X, Y, or Z. Can't then complain that you got no job because of your choices. I feel exactly the same way. I mean, I really don't believe anyone's guilty by association. I mean, you can't you can be friends with somebody that has the opposite opinion of you, you know? What is it?
It's a 10. It's milk left.
Is the not much milk left?
Yeah.
Let me where's your bar at? Yeah, get your bar.
I want chocolate. Until make it milk well.
I don't think there's much chocolate left. Let me see. All right, you're a lucky man because we've got a little bit of chocolate, just enough for flavor. All right. Here, put this in the fridge for me, okay?
What's up? What is bed?
What is it?
Bed milk.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink the last of that milk. I'm on a milk kick.
I want a milk kick.
Milk kick, yeah. Here's your tablet. And it is dead. All right, well, go cover up, and I'll be there in a second, and I'll turn your stuff on for you, okay?
I want the bed.
All right, that's fine, too. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I got a cinnamon bear in my mouth, and I'm just kind of chewing. It's not very polite to chew on my live show, but dang it, I'm hungry. Well, that's some good milk. It's good for the soul. Okay, here we go. How about I zoom out here and show you what I'm working on? Oh, you know what? I got it zoomed in. There we go. Much better. So, this is pretty much just a page of Wildcat getting killed, you know. Much like, you know, Bob's hypothetical career, you know. But the difference is, you know, Wildcat's not killing himself. Instead, it's he's being murdered. But it's something to think about, you know, like, well, what are you willing to do to have a career? You know, I mean, are you willing to throw something away, you know, because you're afraid to be guilty by association? And it's like, you know, the thing is, Dynamite, you know, already employed a lot of anti-Comicsgate people. And on top of that, they also, you know, donate to a lot of far-left causes. I know, you know, the organization Black Lives Matter and a couple other things. I don't know what all they donate to. And I don't care. They can donate to whoever they want to donate to, you know? It's not my problem. I like the fact that it's a company that hires whoever they want to hire, you know? That's the way it should be, you know? It shouldn't matter what your religion or lack of religion or gender, race, all that crap, you know? Your politics. Everybody should have an equal footing to get work if they got the talent, you know? And kind of botching the inks here a little bit, but yeah, it's still turning out okay, I guess. Yeah, I'm just winging it now. I'm just going in and going. Just a free spirit I am. All right, that's pretty much done inked. That middle panel, for the most part. Could be wrong. Right now, all I'm doing is just embellishing, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to get a sense of satisfaction when I look at it, and I'm not thinking, yeah, this is inked. I think what I need to do is I need to add some more black to the forehead thing, you know, just to add a little bit more depth, little bit more weight. Yeah, there we go. I want to add some weight. This is a guy who's said and done things that's weighed heavy in his life. So it shows in his face. Or at the very least, you know, he's been super annoyed. I'm sorry about the camera kind of, you know, lighting up and dimming. You know, it's just a weird thing, you know. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is supposed to be like blood splatter. It's his own blood. It's splattered all over his face. I thought that was pretty cool to kind of to encapsulate the moment, you know. Encapsulate the moment. Yeah, it's kind of neat, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Anything else I can do to it? Oh, I'm going to say maybe not. Not too much more I can do to this. Alright, so I'm going to put my brush away, and now I'm going to move on to something else on the page. You zoom out here. For anyone that's just now tuning in or whatever, you know, I did my shout outs, and let me flip this over. I don't think Abe got a good gander at this. This is Abel Parsons, Abe Sapiens Firepower, and you can find him all over social media, you know, the Twitters and the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the Instagrams and stuff, you know. And best part of this page is probably the hat. I love the hat. And I can't say why. I think the hat is thebomb.com. I was trying to show this page in one of the last streams I did. You know, I was going to go back to it and show Abe and stuff, But then my freaking, I don't know, my internet went out, so the show was over. It's just over. The other thing I was going to show is I finished the Wildcat double page spread. Which I can probably add a little bit more detail on this leg, so I'll do that later. I don't want to do that right now. I'm having a little bit of fatigue with this page. You know, it's just like I want to move on to something else. I just want to move on. All right, let's see here. Let me get this marker here. All right, I'm coming. I'll get it fixed for you.
Come on, hurry up.
Right now?
Hurry up.
Okay. All right, go on. I'm coming.
I want a motor shoulder.
A remote controller? Well, it doesn't have the scary monster bear in it, okay? You just have to trust me. It's Ash versus Evil Dead. Alright, it's playing. Okay. You guys are super troopers. You hung in there for a long while. Cooper's woke up and he wants to watch something on TV. So I'm flipping through it. He doesn't want to watch Scooby-Doo. He doesn't want to watch it, whatever that bear show is. I'm like, well, what the heck do you want to watch? You want to watch the bear show? He's like, yeah. And I'm pointing at it. He's like, no, the scary bear. And so on Netflix, there is Ash versus the Evil Dead. So that's what he's watching now. Ash versus the Evil Dead. Which me and him was watching it yesterday anyway, so. Oh,
Scary.
scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
That's what you wanted.
I'm scared. It's scared me death. It's scared me death, Daddy. It's scared me.
Well, go watch it, and then maybe the scary part be over.
Bear has green eyes. Bear has tricky.
Hey, Brats, it's frustrating when kids don't know what they want to watch. It is. It is. Especially when they're being coy about it. You're trying to do something and they really, I don't know, they just like the fun of watching you struggle to find their show that they're wanting to watch. I think that's part of it. They love to see the parental struggle. Dave writes, the worst when they start watching something, then they change their mind after a few minutes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he likes to watch scary movies and stuff, and even though I'm not quite doing it at this moment, you know, we're having to regulate more of what he watches because on Xbox I got a game called Friday the 13th. In that game, the camp counselors cuss. You know, they're like, I have to whisper because he's in the next room, but they say, you know, F you, Jason. F you, Jason. And so sometimes,
I got Flash.
what do you got?
I got Flash.
Yeah, Flash.
Yes, it's Flash really is it.
So is Flash one of your favorite heroes?
No. No. That guy's Flash me.
Yeah.
He's a girl's friend now. He's dead. What does Creamy say though? Because he has big fingers. He has scratched her because it's written. He's written in the floors.
In the floors.
Where's the floor? Floor. Yeah, where's on the floor?
Okay.
But, come on.
I can't right now. I'm doing this thing. I'm almost done. Go watch your show. I'll be right there.
No, come on. Stop.
We will watch Evil Dead together.
Okay, come on.
Just give me a minute. I'll be right there. Don't be using colorful words now. Well, go pee.
Come on. Come on.
Do I look like your daddy or something?
Come on.
You go. You go pee.
Come on.
I can't even draw a single line on this thing. You're very needy right now.
Come on. Trust me, Daddy.
I do trust you.
Oh.
You're messing with me at a time when I got a ruler in my hand, and I hate rulers.
Where are you? Where are you at? It's for you?
Huh?
Ew!
There's nothing to ooh about.
It's ink.
Yeah, I'm inking. I'm using a permanent marker here.
Ew, it's ink, Daddy. I don't want you. Are you coming? Yeah, are you coming? Come on.
I told you I was.
Come on.
Well, will you wait a second?
Yes, come on. Come on. Here
Go on. I'll watch it. Alrighty. I've given him the courage to pee, so he should be good now. No, he's not. He'll be back. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the borders. See, that's what happens when I get distracted. Because I'm wanting to expand my borders on out more. But you know, that's okay. You know what? I'll know what I'll do to save it. I could just... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Ignore me. Yeah. Well, that's good. Watch your show. Okay, so got that. All right, time to answer some comments. Will Avenger writes, Frank Miller, Sin City vibes on the panel. Yeah, I guess so. Kind of puts me in mind of Paul Puliter a little bit. That guy used to draw the Incredible Hulk way back in the day. He'd do backup stories on a lot of what Del Keon was when Del Keon was working on Hulk. And then he just kind of disappeared, you know, because eventually the job went to Gary Frank after Del Keon left. And then I saw Paul Puliter like end up drawing the Incredible Hulk for a few issues in Fantastic Four for Marvel for a few months, and then he disappeared off those books, you know, in the late 20 somethings, 2017s, 18s, I don't know when it was. And then next thing I know, he was drawing Aquaman there for a good long while, and then he just disappeared off of Aquaman. I'm sorry I'm being quiet. There's like, I dropped a carton of pop the other day, and it exploded. There's like 1 or 2 cans, and then there's like pop all over these cans, so I'm having to wipe it off. Yeah. So I like this page because it's got a lot of black in it, you know. I'm on a big Mike Mignola kick. It may not show, but it's there. No, you don't need a cake right now. You need to eat real food.
What on the real food?
That's not real food. That's more like it's junk food.
Junk food?
Yeah, I mean it's like good to eat every so often, but you need to eat something real first.
Mommy comes back?
Well, no, not when Mommy comes back. I'll make you something here in a second if you just give me just a little bit. Go watch your show, Cake Man.
Okay.
Quit. Get out of here now. You know, this is kind of looking like a professional comic page for some reason. Looks like I know what I'm doing. You know, there's a lot. I'm having some writing issues with the first issue of Wildcat because there's a lot I'm adding to it, a lot I'm taking out. You know,
I'm scared.
and I ain't got it. Why did you pick Ash versus the Evil Dead?
Oh,
You didn't think of that, did you?
I'm scared. Stinky monster. Skinny death.
Come on now. I'm going to turn your show off if you don't.
I'm sick of the bed.
Hmm.
Let me see. Where's more left?
You drunk the last of the chocolate.
I want to get the last one. There, that's a flashlight?
I don't know. I don't know where the flashlight's at.
No. Oh, your big one. There we go, Daddy.
Well, you gotta have, it needs batteries, remember? And I think this takes big batteries, so I don't have big batteries for it. Here, go watch your show now, come on.
I think that is the bed.
All right.
I think it is bed too.
Yeah, it's empty, you can take it with you.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah. Yeah. They're saying bad words?
Yeah.
What's it? It's alright as long as you don't say them. I'll find something else for you to watch.
Okay. Yeah, come help me.
I'm going to help you.
Come on.
Oh boy.
Come on.
I told you I'm coming. Alright guys. Probably going to have to end this here soon. My child needs me. He So, any parting thoughts before we go? All right. So anyway, I appreciate you all tuning in. For anyone that is watching the replay, it needs a reminder, I am CB Smallwood, the greatest of all time, the undisputed, unchallenged at that, because we all know it's true. And you're watching Sketching Past Midnight, even though where I'm at has nothing to do with midnight. Actually, it's more like 12:37 p.m. You know, as far away as past midnight as we can get. But I've been getting up early, about 6 in the morning, and so it's messed me up really bad, my whole show. But regardless of where you're at, it's probably like past midnight, you know, because it's a worldwide show. Worldwide syndication, courtesy of YouTube. Much love to you all. Hope you're all doing well wherever you're at. I hope you're drawing and making your comics the best way that you know how. Or if you don't even make comics, you just enjoy watching other people do it. That is awesome too. Regardless, this is CB Smallwood, and I will see you all in the next video.
I want some cheese.
This is my outro, son. You want some cheese?
Yeah, you think. Open the pan. Open.
Here, put this in the fridge, okay?
Okay, Dad.